The coach of an under 12 hockey team is hoping to increase motivation within the team, explain the two different types of motivation, and evaluate their effectiveness in increasing motivation for an under 12 hockey team. For our two AO1 marks, we need to show knowledge of motivation by showing that we can name and describe the two different types of motivation in sport. So we can say that intrinsic motivation comes from within and extrinsic motivation comes from an outside source. For our two AO2 marks, we can give some examples of each type of motivation within hockey players for these under 12 hockey players. So we could say, for example, the under 12 players could experience intrinsic motivation via pride and self satisfaction when scoring a goal. In terms of extrinsic motivation, the under 12 players could experience this if they are given an award or praise from the coach after playing well in the match. For our five AO3 marks, we can start to evaluate exactly how successful intrinsic and extrinsic motivation are going to be for the under 12 hockey players. So we might say that intrinsic motivation is generally deemed as more effective than extrinsic motivation, particularly in the long term. Extrinsic motivation can be tangible, such as certificates or trophies. And tangible means something we can touch, or it could be intangible, such as praise from the coach. So we're distinguishing between these two different types of extrinsic motivation. Players can become over reliant on extrinsic motivation, whereby enjoyment and motivation begin to drop. So, if a coach is giving out praise and giving out rewards all of the time, it might work for a short period of time, but in the long run, we tend to find it doesn't work and enjoyment and motivation do drop. As the players are very young, so they're only under 12s, some extrinsic motivation is likely to encourage them as they learn how to play the game. So it could be things like a coach praising players for passing the ball in the right way or for making a pass rather than dribbling themselves. As the players are very young, intrinsic motivation may not yet be present, as the players will have had little experience in how it feels to experience pride in their own performance. So a player might not understand whether they have put in a good performance or not. So they might rely on extrinsic feedback from the coach to begin with.